Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass, which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom.
The heaven, even the heavens, are the Lord's, Yahweh Shem Shai's, but the earth has He given to the children of men. Right, and what is it for? To dwell in. Now, Yahweh Shai said that there's a place up there in the heavens in the Father's house that He has prepared for us. And then the scriptures speak about the Lord spread out the heavens to be inhabited. So it's going to be something, man. It's going to be something. And even in that, we still can't fathom what it's going to be like. Because the earth is huge. But the earth is only going to be able to accommodate so many Israelites. Remember, it says that the little one shall become 1,000 and the small one a strong nation. So Israelites are going to multiply. Remember, just in the land of Egypt, it said the more hell they put on Jake, the more they multiply. Isaiah 54:1, sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. This goes back to Sarah and Hagar. Remember, Sarah was barren, Hagar got pregnant. But the one that was barren, she has more children than the one that had children. But she had Ishmael. The Lord blessed Ishmael, gave him 12 princes. And you see that Ishmael is blessed. They have a blessed land. You know, they're blessed people. They got a lot. But the Israelites, on the other hand, are going to be far greater. And they're going to be so many that it says, enlarge the place of thy tent, meaning where you live, enlarge that. Make it bigger. Stretch it out. And let them stretch forth the curtains of thy habitations. So where's that going to happen? That's going to go further than the planet Earth. It's going to go out there to different planets. Spare not, lengthen thy cords and strengthen thy stakes. Why? Because the Israelites are going to be so many. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, the actual nations, because they will be our slaves.
My slaves, my Edomites, welcome to hell, welcome to the kingdom.
And that's the true meaning of being blessed, to have slaves. Slaves bowing down to you, coming to you at your beck and call, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, meaning everything that we've suffered It's going to be forgotten. The Lord said He's going to wipe away all tears from our eyes. It says, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. For thy maker is thine husband, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called.
The Lord promised better things for us, okay? Because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has a favorite people. And he's going to give this favorite people a heavenly kingdom. A kingdom that's blueprinted and formatted and patterned after his mind. How he want a kingdom to be.
But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahweh Shah, Bahashum, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashum, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, and what I want to get into today, all right, with this morning, news and prophecy, and I'm quite sure, you brothers, all right, some of you sisters have seen, dealing with Davos, and the talk, that whole, weekend in Davos. Okay, because the whole thing with the different leaders, Trump and EU leaders and all these different nations leaders talking, that was just, irrelevant. Okay, but we got a glimpse at the mind and the agenda of these devils, which line up with prophecy. Okay, as this devil was boasting in his AI. Okay, and when Esau boasting his AI, he's boasting against Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, so what we're seeing, all right, in these last days, that these devils, they're beginning to peak out, with their pride. Okay, so we're seeing these devils coming to, okay, their peak when it comes to pride, right before, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah brings this man down and everything that this man has built up. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to go into some prophecy, because the scriptures let us know about this beast system, that will be in power. It goes into the rise and fall, okay, of, this beast system that we see running the earth today, okay, and it will be ran by Esau, Edom, these Edomites, man, okay. So let's go here, all right, which we went into it before, because I want to go into Revelation 13 and then link it with Daniel 7. Okay, a few things in Daniel 7, and then I got a video, want to go into, pretty good. It's short, but it has a lot in it, But what we're seeing with these devils, they're beginning to boast against Yahweh Bashim Shai openly. They've done these things, subtly, because rebellion against our power is built into the society. There's a built-in rebellion by default if you're not in the truth. okay, you're in rebellion to Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, and it's getting to the point where the C hip, all right, is going to be made mandatory, which is the mark of this beast system. Okay, the stamp, all right, which is going to be a physical device. It's going to be technology, micro technology. Okay, that's going to link you, okay, to this AI digital system. Okay, which is going to put you in complete open rebellion against Yahweh by Shema Shai, and that's why the judgment is so severe. Okay, in Revelation the 14th chapter. Okay, now let's start off at verse 1. It says Revelation um 13:1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads, all right, the names of blasphemy. Okay, so let's get this word blasphemy, because this beast, this is Esau's, all right, power structure that have ruled the earth. You go into the heads, all right, these were the dominant governments, okay, that this devil, has ruled the earth from. The Greeks, all right, the Romans, all right, the French, the Spanish, okay, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and the British. Okay, those 7 heads represents these 7 governments. Okay, that this devil has ruled. Okay, and then within the Roman Empire, you had what the 10 horns, which represented those vassal states of the pagan Roman Empire. Okay, and now today in this new Rome, because we're going to go into it, because one head was wounded and it was healed. Okay, and it came back as America, NATO, and the EU. And the EU are these 10 horns of today. Okay, so let's get into this word blasphemy. All right, because this will be an indicator. This is what this beast system will be known for, was to be blasphemous against Yahweh by Shema Shai. Okay, so you go into this word blasphemy, and we'll get it in the Edom line as well, Baratazar. But you go into the word blasphemy in the Greek.
Strong's G 988, blasphemia. Blasphemia.
All right, blasphemia. Okay, and it goes into a slander, a detraction, okay, a speech injurious, which means, speech that's mean to harm, all right, to another's good name. Okay, and the name and authority of Yahweh by Shema Shai is constantly slandered within this beast system. Okay, and it's becoming, this devil is doing it more openly now. All right, he's trying to distract, all right, glory and power and authority from Yahweh by Shema Shai. That's what this new world order system is all about. This is what we've been saying through the spirit, okay, of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Brothers been saying this, man, that this man wants to replace the Most High with technology, man. Okay, and that's blasphemy. Okay, it says impious or reproachful speech, injurious to divine majesty, man. Okay, so this devil's system, okay, is blasphemy against Yahweh by Shema Shai. It's slanderous towards the Most High, towards his authority. Okay, and his devil, he's trying to double down on it, okay, with technology. You see? So real quick, let's go to this word blasphemy in the Edom. Then we go back to Revelation 13. So this is the book. This is the word blasphemy. So like the Edom line. Okay, it's pretty much similar to the one in the blue letter. Okay, but when you go into blasphemy on the Edom line, it said to speak impiously or irreverently, okay, irreverently of the Most High and sacred things. And see, this devil is saying that his technology is going to make the Most High irrelevant. He has the technology to put in place to make the Most High irrelevant, man. And that's straight blasphemy, man. Okay, it says also meant It says to revile, to reproach, to blame. Okay, to blame. Because one thing the devil does, which is blasphemy, he makes the Most High the villain. Okay, and he's the one that's coming, okay, to save humanity from the villain, the Most High. Okay, the same way he tries to, he pushes his propaganda against, terrorists and all these different, the thugs, street niggas, and which what I'm saying, he creates these problems. You see, and then he blames them. Well, he want to do that with the Most High, man. This is how proud and out of his goddamn mind Esau is, man. Okay, he pushes propaganda to the Most High. He blames the Most High for problems of the earth that that the Lord gave him authority over, man. Okay, it says to speak lightly or amiss of sacred things, to slander, all right, from blasphemous evil speaking. Okay, so this society is built on slandering the Most High. Even Christianity, that's a slander. The images of Christianity, this modern Christianity, man. Okay, the images of blasphemy. The Edomite, portrayal of the Most High, the Edomite portrayal of the Messiah and the prophets. Okay, this devil calls them. They're saying they're the chosen people. These devils in the land. Okay, so this whole society is built on blasphemy. Okay, towards Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. And this is a token that this is that beast system that was prophesied, all right, to come to power in the end. Okay, because Esau, this is the system he will rule out of before he will be judged. Okay, so going back, verse 2, it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority, man. Okay, so you go into the leopard, which are the Greeks, okay, which represents the beginning, all right, of Esau becoming a superpower in the earth. That was his first government, all right, under the Greeks, all right. There was a superpower over other kingdoms, man. Okay, that ruled over other kingdoms in the earth as an empire. Okay, but his feet, which is the end of this man, is the bear. This war with Russia, which we see that, okay, on the horizon, man. Okay, we see that they're on the path, all right, to lock up with Russia. Okay, which Russia is a heavy ally to Iran. Okay, and you have those uh, Navy, all right, strike groups, all right, those American Navy strike groups, on the way to Iran, position themselves in Iran. Okay, and then Iran told America, look, our finger on the trigger, however it go. Okay, which we know that's going to happen in this time, but we see things are in place. Okay, that's going to lead this man to this war with Russia, which is going to be his end. Okay, it says in his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Okay, which goes into London. Okay, which represents the banking, the financial aspect of this beast system. Okay, because it's financed by these elite bankers. They finance this Greco-Roman Empire that has been revived in the earth. It's financed by, all right, London, the bankers, these elite bankers, man. Okay, and it's beautiful that the more the devil talks about establishing a new world order, the closer he gets to this war. All right, and in this war, Yahweh Shai appears, man, and he's done. Okay, so it's great that this devil is speaking as he's speaking and moving as he's moving, man. This is exactly what we need as believers, man. Okay, and it says, and the dragon gave him his power and seat and great authority, because this devil has the same authority that the pagan Roman Empire had. The same authority that the Greco-Roman Empire had. The ability to interfere, okay, with different governments. Okay, Rome was known for installing, puppet governments. Okay, Rome friendly governments. You see, and we see America, NATO, EU, they do the same thing. Okay. They link together and they do the same thing, man. They remove, okay, governments and, they topple governments and replace them, and that's one of the things that ancient Rome had, okay, the ability to interfere, okay, with foreign, all right, politics, man, foreign governments, okay. Also, there was a time when the Roman currency was the reserve currency of the world, okay, just like you had the American dollar, okay, that Roman currency was, accepted everywhere, okay, because it was backed by, actual precious metals, okay. So we see, the authority, all right, of that pagan, all right, Edomite ancient Roman Empire, okay, that authority has been granted to this new, okay, Roman Empire, America, NATO, and the EU, okay. It says, and I saw one, uh, it says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. So it was wounded during what they call the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, and it came back during the Renaissance, the rebirth. We went into that the other day. Okay, so what we're living in now is that deadly wound that was healed. Okay, and what we're seeing, the whole world, all right, this age is wandering after the beast. Okay, this is where the beast has led the planet Earth into complete rebellion. All right, to where all these nations are on board with this new world order system. Okay, of AI replacing the Most High. See, this is what these nations are guilty of and partaking with Esau. Okay, in this system that this devil, okay, wants to establish. This, he wants to try to replace the Most High. You see, this is the fornication, the idolatry, okay, that these nations are guilty with, man. Okay, with the whore, with America, man, with this beast system. And this is why Yahweh Shai is coming back to judge all these heathens, man. Okay, because they're co-conspirators, okay, to this plot, man, to this wickedness, man. They're wandering after the beast. They're following after the beast, man. And it says, and they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And you see that now, especially, we've seen, it magnified like with this latest look, gimmick with Venezuela, you know, Trump beating his chest, Americans beating their chest, like, yeah, this is what we do. Okay. We can't be stopped, taking, Russia oil tankers and, all these little gimmicks and, empty, showings of power. You see, and you see the sentiment, especially over here in America, like who can make war with the beast? We good, you know, but just sadly mistaken because the Lord is raising up these nations to take this beast to war. And ultimately, how Shai is going to come, all right, and completely eradicate this beast system, man, and all the other militaries of the earth. Verse 5, it says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And this is what we're getting ready to see in this video. All right, this devil, Noah Yuval Harari, this nigga finna speak great blasphemies, man. Okay, but this is what the devil's been doing. He's just getting more open with it now. Okay, it says, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months, which is 42 months, represents what, 3.5 years. All right, but prophetically, that's 350 years. Okay, because from the time frame of 1619, when these devils started to bring, okay, the southern tribes over here to be in captivity, okay, with the northern tribes, that's when their time starts. Okay, so 1619 all the way into 1969, all right, 1970, when Elder Abba Bivens will come on the scene, because that's when the Lord started chipping away, at this devil's authority spiritually, man. Okay, before then there was no resistance to this devil. Okay, but when the Lord, caused the Spirit to come in, Elder Abba Bivens, which was John the Baptist coming back. Okay, that began the narrative. That began the awakening of the prophets. Okay, they will begin to speak this man downfall into existence, and this is what we at today, man. Okay, what's that? Let's see, what's that? 30. So about 56, 57 years later, this is where we at. You have a whole ministry of prophets that's chanting this place down. Okay, and the devil is scrambling. He's declining from his power. Okay, but for that 350 years, man, he just had a free run. Okay, to build up this power structure, man, to establish the Greco-Roman Empire in the earth, man. And now he wants to try to make it digital, but this is where he stopped. Okay, it says that he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High to blaspheme his name. Okay, and we know part of the name is authority. Okay, now he pushes their false name Jesus, okay, or their generic, name God, okay, which they have proper names. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh, and the Son name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says in his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Okay, so this devil, he painted himself as the Most High, as we went into earlier. He pushed these false names concerning the God of the Bible and his Son. Okay, he pushes a false image of the angels. Okay, and not only a false image, but the temperance of an angel. He puts the angels if there's something to play with. You know, like they're just these, harmless, soft, to the touch entities, man. Okay, nah, man, these angels are a mighty power. Okay, dark skinned men. Okay, that get off on doing the will of Yahweh by Shema Shai. Okay, Revelation 13:7 says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Okay, so the devil, it was given to him to overcome us, and to overcome them. All right. So this was us, being, conquered by this devil when he came back into his power. Okay, because the first thing he did was, because Granada, fell in 1492. Okay, that same year when Granada fell to these Edomites, which there was, a stronghold that Jake had, the Moorish Empire. Okay, it fell, to these Edomites, these Spaniards. Okay, Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand. Okay, and they gave authority to what they call these conquistadors to come over here, and they started to take down, the Incas, okay, the Aztecs, okay, so forth and so on. They began to take down, those northern kingdom empires that was over here in Central, all right, in South America, and even the Isles, Cuba, okay, okay, the modern day Dominican Republican, what they call Espanol, okay, and Haiti. You see, they began to take, those places down, okay, and then they went into, the interiors, in Western Africa, taking what, all right, the southern tribes down, okay, and once he took down the tribes, he went on to conquer the rest of the earth, okay. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And this is where we at now, where the devil has authority over all kindreds, tongues, and nations, man. Everybody is under the shadow of this beast system government, man. Some more than others. And you have nations, that's bucking up. Okay, but this man government overshadows the whole earth. You know, and it says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So if you're not of that predestined remnant of Israel, Okay, you're going to be given over to worship, okay, this man's system and take that mark. Okay, you're going to worship his technology. This is going to be the best thing going. You know, you're not going to be able to see past, okay, this system that this man has set up. Okay, if you're not part of that remnant that was predestined to get the victory over this beast, okay, well, guess what? You're going to be subjugated to worship. All right, this beast system, okay, which is going to prepare you to do what? Take that mark. Okay, which is going to put you in complete rebellion. Okay, so this is what we at now. Okay, this is what we at real time. This devil has all this authority in the earth through this beast system. And now he wants to double down on that authority with that technology, man. He wants to join you and merge you with his technology, which is the biggest rebellion the earth has ever seen. Okay. So let's keep reading, because how does it end for this nigga, man? You know, because you go through all the history, you know, there's a lot more to go into, but just, you know, briefly going through that. When you go through that whole rundown of this beast system and how it will rise to power, okay, how is it going to end? Verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. Okay, so it ends up with the devil going into captivity, man, and also being judged through slaughter. A lot of these Edomites finna go through their slaughter, man. Their sword, okay, ultimately gonna be those nukes, man. Okay, it's gonna play a major part in the judgment and the slaughter of a lot. All right, you Edomites, man, and you heathens as well. Okay, and this is the patience and faith of the saints, man, that was overcome by this beast system, man. Okay, but our patience and our faith is that our power is finna judge righteously in the earth, man, and this nigga is finna lose. Okay, so let's go here. I got this video. Let's go here and just listen to these devils, you know, speak proudly. Okay, and he just a mouthpiece. This nigga Noah Yuval Harari. This nigga just a mouthpiece. Okay, of these elites, man. All right. So let's play this.
No. As far do you know? As far as putting words in order is concerned, AI already thinks better than many of us. Therefore, anything made of words will be taken over by AI. If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal system. If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion. This is particularly true of religions based on books, like Islam, Christianity, or Judaism. Judaism calls itself the religion of the book, and it grants ultimate authority not to humans, but to words in books. Humans have authority in Judaism not because of our experiences, but only because we learn words in books. Now, no human can read and remember all the words in all the Jewish books, but AI can easily do that. What happens to a religion of the book when the greatest expert on the holy book is an AI?
This is my very specific question for you, right? Is that you're
So you hear this devil, you know, and he's speaking, you know, mighty words. And you see when he talk about when he went into the religions, okay, that he put emphasis on our book, You know, he said Jewish. You know, he said Judea. You know, but he's speaking of our book. He's speaking of the Bible. He didn't speak on much on Islam. He spoke on the Bible because that's what it's about. Okay, and this devil is hyping up this AI. Oh, AI already thinks better than most humans. No, it don't. Okay, because it thinks because of humans, which the humans are a creation of who? The Most High. Okay, so this nigga is steady pushing, you know, and that's why the scriptures speak about these are lying wonders, man. This AI is a lying wonder. Yes, it can do some things, you know, it can be useful, okay, but can it replace the Most High? Shit, no, nowhere near. It don't even begin. Okay, AI don't begin to replace the Most High in any capacity, man. Okay, that's a terrible idea. What this nigga is trying to roll out in the earth, man. Okay, but he's boasting in his AI, and he's boasting as if AI is going to replace the Most High. You know what happens when AI learns the Bible, okay, better than anyone in the world? It can never learn the Bible better than the prophets, man. Okay, everything that the AI knows about the Bible is because of the prophets. It's been getting data. Imagine if you was able to remember every street teaching that came out, you know, from Elder Abba Bivens to now. These 57 years of street teaching. Okay, and then we still have to correct the AI. Okay, we overseers over the AI, man. Okay, AI is not dictating what we teach. Okay, we the authorities over AI, man. Okay, and we have to ask. It's based on through the spirit. Okay, brothers can ask AI and chat specific questions, and when they lie, okay, we know how to. You know, brothers know how to put in reword the question to get the answer we need. So the spirit manipulates AI, man. Okay, and it'll never be able to learn or outlearn the spirit of Yahweh by Shema Shah, man. Okay, because we're connected to the source. Okay, AI is lifeless, man. If you unplug the data center, it's done. Give a damn if you get to artificial general intelligence. They don't give a damn if you get to artificial super intelligence. Okay, whatever he want to call it. If you unplug the data center, they done. Okay, they're lifeless, man. Okay, you won't get no response from it. You see, if you stop putting human input, the Most High don't need input. AI needs input. The Most High don't operate off input. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get a few precepts, man. Okay, let's get this in because what he's saying that AI can search out the Most High. That's what this devil is saying, man. This devil is he's saying some hell of a words, man. This devil is saying that he can search out AI, man. He said AI can search out the Most High. That's basically what he's saying. Okay, I believe it's in Romans. Is it Romans 11? Let's see. Um, if a brother can put that in Sirach, how we have seen but a few of his works, you know, in the book of Sirach, like in the 40s, chapter in the 40s, you know, we have seen but a few of his works. Okay. Yep, this is it. Romans 11 and 33. It said, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and the knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. Okay? But this devil is telling you that with AI, he can search out the Most High, man. You got to listen to the blasphemy. And by that alone, we know this nigga done. By that alone, we know this nigga is done because he's too far out of pocket. He's directly insulting Yahweh by Shema Shah. So by that alone, he's done, man. You know, listen to what this nigga is saying and telling you, man, this ain't no light thing that this nigga is saying, man. Okay? Romans 11 and 33 says, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High, how unsearchable are his judgment and his ways past finding out. For who have known the mind of the Lord, or who have been his counselor? Okay, so this devil is saying that AI is going to counsel the Most High. Okay, he created something that can give the Most High counsel, man. This is what this devil is boasting in. You see, this is what the devil is bringing to the forefront. When you take the sea hip, this is what you're linking yourself to, man. This ideology, this type of rebellion and blasphemy, man. That's why the wrath is going to be poured out without mixture, man. Okay, it says, "Or who have given to him, and it shall be recompense unto him again." Okay, so it's like, who can say that they gave the Most High advice and he's in they debt? Okay, this is what the devil is saying is that he's going to give the Most High some pointers. Okay, that's why he wants to try to recreate everything, 3D print, try to create, food from nothing, man. He's trying to say, I can give the Most High some pointers, man. That's the pride that this devil is moving in and operating in, man. Okay, I wonder what it says in AMP. Let me go see. He might give us some. Yep. So let's go here to Romans 11 and 36. It says, it's an AMP. It says, for from him all things originate, and through him all things live and exist, and to him are all things directed. To him be glory and honor forever. Amen. And this devil saying that AI can fulfill that. AI can be the originator. Okay. Everything can exist and live because of AI. Okay. This is what the devil is saying, man. Okay. But the Lord's finna confound this man. Esau finna get embarrassed, man. Okay. He's biting off a hell of a piece, man. Okay. Esau, he ain't ready for that like he think he is, man. This Sirach 43 and 32 says, there are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works, man. But this devil is saying, look, we got it figured out. Here it is. We're being told that, look, man, what we see, what we have access to, man, this is just a few. Okay, you think the Lord confound to, what we have access to, what we've seen, our concept and because AI is nothing but a collection of all the data that they have extrapolated, all right, from people in the earth, man. Okay, and you think all that data puts you on the evil playing field with the Most High? That's what this devil is thinking, and that's how he's thinking, man. He's completely out his goddamn mind. Okay, this nigga is crazy, man. On some on some whole other type. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that this nigga think and process. Okay, the way he see himself is on a whole another level, man. Okay, this man has a really false self-image, man. Okay, and he's puffed up behind. Okay, let's go here. The brother Kazak Bunny Howard, the Proverbs 21 and 30 said, there is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai, man. Okay, so what this devil is trying to come up with, he's not working against the Heavenly Father. He's working for, because the Lord wants this nigga to be proud. The Lord wants this nigga to be rebellion, so the Lord can drop the hammer on his ass, man. Okay, Esau is playing right into the narrative of the Heavenly Father, so he can drop that hammer on his ass in the form of Yahweh Shai. See, when Yahweh Shai comes to the earth, that's gonna be like the Most High hitting the gavel on the case, man. He done heard enough, and that's gonna be him hitting that gavel. The judge done heard enough, man. This nigga out his goddamn mind. Wow, hit the gavel, send back Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and end the madness, man. Okay. So let's go here real quick, and then we're gonna play the rest of the video, because I believe that's the devil Peter Thiel. They're gonna interview this nigga. And these Edomites, man, and you see these little tech guys, man, these guys be fumbling and bumbling over their words, and very, effeminate, and no masculinity, man. Okay. So we're gonna watch the devil Peter Thiel. I'm gonna get this, okay, because he kept saying if it has anything to do with words, we can. And then they got Noah Yuval Harari. He's a fun boy, man. Okay, he's a fun boy. Okay, these niggas be having boyfriends and husbands, and but these niggas know these niggas IQ are high. These are the great thinkers of the world. All right, laid up with a nigga every night, man. Somebody nigga got a whole boyfriend, but these great thinkers, man. Okay, so let's get this real quick, and then we'll get this nigga Peter Thiel. Okay, because the words when you go here, Sirach, not Sirach, Ecclesiastes 8:4, it says, "Where the word of a king is, there is power." Okay, so this book is the Lord's power, because guess what? Everybody is subjugated to it. Okay, like Esau talking that shit, but guess what? You got to do everything that's written in this book. Okay, this nigga is subjugated to do everything that's written in this book. He be talking this shit like he got it figured out and he operating on his own time. Nah, man, you doing exactly what the book said you will be doing, man. Blasphemy, slandering, okay, rebelling. You see, this third, you already, the scriptures speak about 3 world wars. You already did too, so you subjugated to the words in this book. Revelation told you about the 3 wars, the 3 woes, and you already completed 2 of them. And the last one, that's the end of your empire, man. So Esau be talking that shit like he got this thing figured out, like he can go tick for tat with the Most High. No, you subjugated to this word. Okay, you got to go to war with Iran. You can't get around it. Okay, them Navy, all the places in the world that you can go to war with. Guess what? You can't. You cannot. Okay, Esau cannot stop himself from going into this 3rd World War. He cannot stop himself from making the MOTB mandatory. He can't do it because he's subjugated to what? The words in this book. Because that's the power of Yahweh Bashim al-Shah. So what the word of a king is, which this Bible is the ultimate word of the king, Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? Who gonna check him? Okay? Esau, he talk. It sound good. Okay? Well, who gonna check the Most High, man? Okay? So what we're seeing is the words, the power of these words, man. You see, these aren't just words. Now, this is power. See, the Bible is power. See, that's why he didn't go into Islam and the Book of the Dead. He didn't go to the Hindu and he said, look, you see, the Christian Bible, the Judaism, okay, the Jewish religion. He was talking about the Bible, man. Okay, because this is what these devils are concerned about. This is what they want to replace, man, but they can't do. He's trying to overthrow the Most High through technology, man. A goddamn fool. Okay, Ecclesiastes 8:11 says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And this devil thinks because the Most High hasn't reached out and judged his ass, man. Okay, that he has some type of true power and authority. All right, that he's making some type of leeway and rebelling against the Most High. Okay, like he's making some type of progress. Okay, against the Most High, man, and he just running right into the trap that the Most High set from this nigga from the beginning of the world. This trap was set before the Lord used Yahweh Shai and the angels to create the earth, man. He already had the concept of Esau and Esau running into the trap. Okay, and Esau, and it's playing out exactly how the Lord said it will play out, man. Okay, so let's let's play some more of this. So listen to this devil Peter Thiel, man. All right, and it's just time for you devils to be removed, man. Esau is overrated, man. Okay, so this is guy Peter Thiel. He's the face of Palantir. Okay, and just listen to how these niggas stumble and bumble. Okay, nigga can't even be straightforward, man. Okay.
You're an investor in AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, you know, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenarios. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing. I
mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
Well, but again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe. But is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety. Because
show you devils, they cut by the word. You see, he had to go to what? The Bible, the word, the power. You see, the Bible is the authority of the earth. Okay, so he says, you have this, what you call it, First Thessalonianism. They love to try to categorize some. Okay, where people had this peace and safety, rhetoric around the anti-Messiah. Okay, which his whole system is anti-Messiah. Okay, but this devil, he's trying to get around his word. His word got this nigga cornered, man. He's trying to find a way to pull this off to where it doesn't line up with the word, but he can't do it. Okay, because one of the things behind AI is what? Peace and safety, health, okay, prosperity, wealth, financial prosperity, free time. Okay. So, and then he said for the last 50 years, and remember, the ministry is about, 56, 57 years old. So he said, well, for the last 50 years, it's been this showing you that, hey, this spiritual ministry has been grinding this nigga down. The scriptures said that what he shall be consumed. Okay. He shall be consumed by the mouth of the Lord, which are the prophets, man. Okay, so we ain't been doing this for nothing, man. This word been wearing this nigga down, man. Okay, and all these Edomites look stressed out, man. These top Edomites, man, they look stressed out, man. Okay, because they're trying to sidestep this word, but they subjugated to it, man. Okay, Esau has a hell of a test. Okay, let's listen to this nigga again, man.
But again, there are these different gradations of this we can describe, but is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted.
A new investigative report by 404 Media says ICE agents have a new high-tech way to zero in on neighborhoods to raid. The report says it's an app called Elite, and it's developed by Palantir, which is a data analytics company used by federal agencies and state and local governments. Now, the app populates a map with potential targets, pulls up a profile on each individual person, and provides a, quote, confidence score on each person's address. Joining us now is the 404 Media investigative journalist who wrote that story, Joseph Koch. Joseph, thanks for being with us. How did you first come across this information, and what did you find as you started to follow the story?
So I've been covering ICE's use of technology for months now, and I kept hearing about this thing called...
So now remember, Palantir, has linked up with ICE. Okay, so a lot of technology that ICE has in their software is through Palantir, through AI. Okay, and these devils, you know, they were using these things in uh in Gaza. You know, Gaza was a rollout to where they was, you know, able to begin to incorporate AI, you know, a lot into, you know, urban warfare, because they're getting ready to wage war against the American public, man. Okay, what you're seeing with ICE is them desensitizing you to having to combat, okay, federal law enforcement, man. Okay, so let me see. In the chat, you know, in the chat, you really got to corner the chat, because you can tell the devil, you know, he's been trying to reprogram the chat, you know, especially when it comes to New World Order and incorporating this technology to a global system of control. You know, the devil, you know, you could tell that he had to go into AI, you know, and do some things. Okay. Showing you that AI is limited, man. Okay, and it takes people programming and coding it for it to perform. Okay, it depends on input. All right, for it to have any type of output. The Most High don't work like that. Okay, the Most High not waiting on input so he can have output. He's the source of input. Okay, he's the source of output. Okay, but what you're seeing with this Palantir technology, man, they're training this AI to govern the people. Okay, so ICE is the boots on the ground that's training AI to govern and police people. Okay, they getting AI familiar with niggas. You see, certain areas, certain neighborhoods, certain mannerism with Jake real time. All right, Northern and Southern Kingdom. Okay, you American citizens. Okay, so ICE is the boots on the ground. You know, the human entity that AI is training. All right, that's training AI to police you know, citizens, man. Okay, so this is the technology that they're using with ICE, man, and this is why they keep ICE so active. There's always this crisis and this protest, because they're learning. They need AI to learn, okay, how to police. You see, so ICE is their boots on the ground. So this is the technology that ICE has, man. Let's listen to it.
Elite. I didn't know what it was at the time, and we didn't really know what tech ICE was using to actually find people. But eventually, I got leaked this user guide, which explained the tool in detail. I found this testimony from Oregon where an ICE official, you know, under sworn deposition, explained exactly how they were using this tool to actually target neighborhoods. And I also found this link to Palantir as well. I think finally providing the clearest link yet between the tech that Palantir is making and how ICE is actually choosing where to raid and where to target.
So what kind of data are they looking at here on this app? And is it being used in agents all over, not just Minnesota?
So with this testimony in Oregon, an ICE official said it's basically like a Google's map interface where you can look around the United States, you can zoom in on targets. And I've seen the interface, and he's exactly right. That's exactly what it looks like. You then click on an individual person and it brings up their name, a photo, most importantly for ICE, their apparent address, and also a confidence score on how likely it is that person is actually there, such as 90 out of 100 or 75 out of 100. It allows them to really zoom in on who they want to go pick up that day.
So you write about the app user guide. What did the user guide reveal to you?
It really showed in granular detail what exactly ICE is able to do, such as if they want to target this neighborhood, they'll maybe draw a circle around it, and that will bring up information on all of the people there. If they want to figure out where a certain population might be, they can use it for that. And of course, I think really importantly for what is happening in Minnesota at the moment, the tool can be used to sort of write up special operations, is what ICE calls it, and that can send target lists out to people on the ground, and then they can then pursue them as well as part of these much wider operations that we're seeing across the United States.
Joseph Cox, thank you so much.
The so-called AI slop all over the internet these days. Angela Carter here live. Is getting less sloppy. Disaster. Just kidding. I'm not real. With hyper-realistic AI-generated sham news clips circulating, often presented as a joke. Dana Brooks reporting live from Ocean View. But what's
So you have, the AI policing, to where they're able to, have all the data, all right, on who stays in what location, the patterns of these certain areas, the people of these certain areas, the demographics. Okay, and it's all real time. It's all computing, real time. Okay, so this devil, he's training, okay, his digital system to govern and police. Okay, and then you have this, which is going to be a lot of, fake news. Okay, it's going to be a lot of psyops. Okay, AI just took psyops to a whole nother level. These psychological operations, these enchantments, misinformation, confusion, division. Okay, AI is going to take it to another level. Okay, if a brother can post it in Matthew, 24 and 24, the very elect. Let's get that Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay, this is why it's time to be more rooted than ever, man, because it's going to be a flood of misinformation, man. And that's why even as we report, as we're on our watch, we have to be. That's why we got to stick close to the narrative of prophecy, man. Okay, because this man finna have narratives flying all over the place, man. Okay, and this is why we are anchored down by the narrative of prophecy. Okay, because this devil, I say, he's finna flood misinformation before he, shuts down the internet, man. This devil is gonna do a blitz on the minds, okay, of the masses, man. Okay, to just burn them out, man, to just make them tap out. Okay, so let's play this.
becoming not so funny how easily reality can be confused?
And see, why does he want to imitate a chariot? You see, the devil shows you that he's concerned, man. This is it. Why does he want to imitate a chariot coming out of the water, man? Okay, shows you that this devil, all right, is his word is getting to this nigga, man. Okay,
with the fakes.
White House unveils plan to train bald eagles as patriotic aerial surveillance units.
Can you tell the difference?
Well, President Trump
right is real. The launch of Google's VO3 earlier this year, shocking users and the industry with how realistic the model is. With audio generation.
Clearwater Beach, where an unidentified
and as the lines blur, the AI clips of fake reports or newsworthy events that never happened, even reaching the Oval Office. With President Trump posting this provocative AI-generated video of former President Obama being arrested at the White House. In many ways, it's an obvious example of misinformation or parody, easily debunked. But what happens when it's not so obvious?
We used to say that seeing is believing, and that's no longer the case.
It's making life hard for Emmanuel Saliba, a content verification expert and a former NBC News reporter. She says the tech is getting so advanced, the fake videos are routinely being spread across the world and reported as fact.
During that gap between an event happening and authorities or media having any sort of confirmation, that's where we're seeing all of this AI-generated content start to spread. And before it's debunked, before it's verified, it's gaining millions of views.
The phenomenon, also known as synthetic media. We wanted to see how easy it was to create, so we gave Google's VO3 a try.
Well, the prompt says, generate a realistic TV news reporter stand-up. NBC News correspondent Emily Ketta is standing in a snowbank with snowy trees behind her.
We fed the program a short prompt meant to recreate a real report I did back in 2023.
All right, so now we will generate.
On our first try, with about a minute of processing.
Oh, should we give it a listen?
This is an area used to winter weather, but as you can see in the drooping tree branches, this colossal storm dropped heavy snow.
The landscape is so good and the quality is so good, like down to the detail of the hat, you can kind of see flurries.
It doesn't really look or sound like me, and the text at the bottom of the screen is gibberish, a telltale sign of AI. But watch how the AI reporter gestures. The hat, coat, even the NBC patch on the shoulder. And side by side with the real thing,
This is an area that is used to winter weather, but as you can see in the drooping tree branches, this colossal storm dropped heavy snow.
The slow zoom out. It's incredibly similar to the actual camera movement.
We tried altering the prompt to make it look more like me, but those attempts were blocked, with Google alerting it, quote, might violate our policies about generating prominent people. Google's video generator is so good, at least in part, because it's training its models on some videos posted to YouTube. The company recently told CNBC. It's that sheer realism of such an easy, free creation that highlights the bigger concern when this tech is used not for fun, but to push an agenda or sow confusion.
To push an agenda or sow confusion. Okay, and we know that this is what the devil is all about, you know. So you already know, you know, he has our voice patterns, you know, he has, you know, our face, you know, our mannerisms, okay, because we got so much content. So we know that the devil is going to push all type of false prompts. You know, ain't no telling what he's going to have us doing, man. But that's a part of it. But see, the Lord know we blameless, man. You know, that's why we're not here to try to justify ourselves to these people. You know, we're going to be justified in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Awashai. Okay, so let's go here. This is your brother Kazakban Yahweh. Matthew 24:24 said, for there shall arise false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, man. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of things in these last days, man, you know, that's meant for deception, because Esau Edom, he's the top false prophet in the earth, man. You know, and with the technology that this devil has access to, you know, he's going to push a lot of signs and lying wonders. Okay, he's going to show, you know, particular things, man. He's going to, you know, try to fake the second coming. You know, that's why Yahweh Shai said, look, if they say low here, low there, okay, don't believe it. Okay, so we're going to see this devil, okay, go full throttle, you know, with this technology to push deception. Okay, because the devil is a witch and a warlock, man. Okay, and on the left hand side, you know, he has this power to perform what it seems like a miracle, man. Okay, but that's why we got to be more rooted than ever and stick to the narrative of prophecy, man. That's why the Lord has the prophets going full body on the right hand side. You know, that's why when you Apostle Har, you know, when he pushed the elder Apostle Har, when he pushed brothers to push these videos out, that's us combating the left hand side, you know, for the sake of the church, for the believers, for the flock, man, to put a shield, to put a hedge around the flock through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, so they can understand what's going on. All right, so we can stay in the light, man. Okay, because this devil, he's trying to cast a shadow over the truth. Okay, but the light always outshines the dark, man. Okay, so why Yahweh Shai said, "What? Let your lights shine." You know, gird up thy loins. You know, have thy candles what burning. This truth, man. Okay, because the Esau, he's trying to bring in a very dark time of confusion, and he has this technology to help him out now, man. You know, to do these things quickly. Okay, it's Isaiah 33:6. It's a brother you call Hopeful 144. It said, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, all right, is his treasure, man. You know, so a healthy fear of the Lord, you know, is crucial in these times, man. Having a reverence for Yahweh Bashim Shai in the midst of this great rebellion. You know, having the fear of the Heavenly Father, okay, in the midst of this devil pushing everyone to rebel against the Most High, okay, and wisdom and knowledge of these prophecies, man, okay, and the obedience of the scriptures, man, living this thing, that's going to keep us stable in these times. That's going to be our anchor, okay, because this man is he's already destabilized the minds of the masses, man, to where they're all over the place. Okay, the minds of the masses, they're all over the place, man. Okay, and they're going to be destabilized even more. Okay, they're going to be destabilized even more, man. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's the point. We'll leave it there. All right. And this, like I say, this is why we're anchored down, in prophecy, man. So, yeah, man, we're gonna continue, to on the right hand, to engulf, in prophecy in His Word, man. Continue to put those prayers up, for the elect to be protected, and for the Lord to judge this place, man. It's time for Esau to be stopped. His pride, is getting unbearable, man. This devil's pride is getting to the point to where it's unbearable, man. So, Lord will you brothers and you sisters edify to the next time. Say shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, soon shalom.